Welcome to Dojo. Today we're going to be talking about the Everlast Hyperflex bag, stick, whatever you want to call it. This is it. Now it's got an adjustment, 3 settings. You've got one here, that's to make the ball flex. One down here, that makes the bottom flex, so it's going to be like bouncing backwards and forwards. Then you've got the centre one to adjust the height. Right, so it goes down as low as that. So it goes up to about there.
Just short of 6 foot.
Yeah, so I'm 5'5", so that's going to say podcast, it's about 6 foot. We'll keep it at that height for now, till just right. We've got the flex. Slide that right down. Yeah, so it's going to bend all the way around. Now this at the bottom is full of water. Obviously, the more that you put in it, it's going to stay solid. So just hitting that, it's going to rotate around like that. Just like the head. So it's going to move backwards and forwards. Now we haven't trained much on this Hyperflex bag, but we can still demonstrate and tell you a little bit about it.
Right, so the Hyperflex bag now, I've got one of these in my own dojo at home, as well as my little dojo, so I'm quite familiar with this. Sensei Brown's only had this for a couple of weeks. I've had mine for just over a couple of months. And they can take quite a bit of ammo, but one thing you've got to remember with these is, at the end of the day, it is just a little bit of metal and a little bit of rubber and a couple of springs. So, you know, if you hit this like you're trying to kill it, you probably will. So you've got to put it in perspective as to what it is. It's a training aid. It's not something that you can stand and destroy. If you want to really hit something really hard and powerful, get yourself a big heavy punch bag, and then you can hit that until the cows come home and you're not going to hurt it. But if you start really walloping this like you're going to destroy it, you will destroy it. It's simple. But that doesn't mean to say that it can't live up to the job as to what it's meant for. It's meant as a boxing trainer. Obviously, we're in the speedball mode, as Sensei Brown said there, with his bottom one locked, and that one so that it doesn't wiggle about a bit at the bottom. It just acts as a speedball. Now, one thing I will say with this, if you go out and buy one, you might notice that this has got the writing coming off it already. It's only printed, it's only stuck on there, so if you're hitting it, you know, your markings are going to come off. What used to say Everlast now just says blah. So obviously you can't make out what brand it is because it's all starting to come off. Don't worry about that. Do you know what I mean? If you're going to keep it in pristine condition, you might as well not even bother having one. They are there to be hit, so don't be scared of hitting it, but just don't try and kill it, because if you really start pummeling it, you will break it. It's as simple as that. But like I said, that don't mean to say that it's no use to us. So just to give a quick demonstration, we're going to lock this top one. You've just seen us use it as a speedball. So now we're going to lock this.
I'm going to get that bottom bit.
And we're going to unlock the bottom one.
Now, obviously, with the bottom bit, you can take it up a little bit, or you can take it up a full way. So it's going to hyperflex all the way, but it doesn't just go backwards, forwards. It'll go round and round. Now I'm going to take this all the way to the top, so it's got the maximum flex on it. Right. So since Paul just wants to move out of the way, it will go like that, bang. It's going to go round, and you see, it's a good training facility for you to be hitting it and then getting out of the way. Duck it, you can be not ducking and moving that way, but you can get underneath it, yeah, move out that way, practice your uppercuts, your hooks, your crosses, your jabs, your jabs. Sensei Polecat has got a different way of using these bags than what I have. He will hit it and then he'll keep on top of it, bang, bang, bang. As well as I'll keep away and I'll move away from the attacking, if it's karate, it'd be a kick but I keep out of the way as much as I can. Whereas Sensei Polecat will be on top of it wherever possible. It's a good facility to have, is this Hyperflex bag. Now hitting it back and forwards, you can sort of control it. As soon as you take it on that circular motion where you hit it round, it's going to go round. It's going to go round like that, yeah? So you've got to know where to defend against. Now, this gets your guard good, because if you're going to fight, if you're going to just do that, yeah, bang, it's going to smack you on the side of the head. So you've got to have a guard up, like you would in boxing or karate anyway. So you hit and you defend. Yeah? So what you sensei?
Right, so obviously there's lots of ways of powering into this. Now I would recommend you use your gloves, because using the gloves, not only does it help protect some of this writing coming off, I think that'll probably come off anyway with a bit of use, but using your gloves, it's going to not damage your fingers as much, or your knuckles if you accidentally, you know, hit it too hard or whatever. But also because it's bending and moving about, and because the structure of it is metal, if you use it with your bare hands and you just happen to miss it wrong place, and like Sensei Brown said, if you go into here and you punch this pole, it's not going to do your knuckles any good. You can even shatter them on this, you know what I mean? It's not going to be nice punching this. But like I've already said before, very useful training aid. The fact that it comes back to you gives you that opportunity to duck and weave around it, to avoid getting it. Now, obviously when it's in that mode, I can hit it away all day. And a lot of people that use this, I'm just going to lock this in because it just seems to be nearly coming out. Right, so a lot of people that use this will complain and say, oh well, it's actually too slow for me, you know, I'm hitting it and I'm having to wait 10 seconds for it to come back before I can hit it again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I want something a bit faster than that.
So you just lower the spring tightener.
What it doesn't tell you in the instructions is, in the instructions it only tells you to lock the spring at the bottom or lock the spring at the top, so you're either making it rigid or you're making it flexible. What it doesn't tell you is that you can choose your own setting. So for example, I'm hitting that, there's quite a bit of time delay there, I've got plenty of time to compose myself and pick my next punch. Now if you want it a little bit faster than that, we're going to lock the pole in like this and then just raise it about maybe ½ inch, an inch. So now about 90% of this spring is locked and 10% will flex. And if you watch now,
back to a lot quicker than when the arm of the flex was actually raised.
Now, as well as boxing, the one thing we're not going to cover this too much in this one because this is a boxing video, but we will use this in other videos. But I'd just like to say, if you're a kickboxer or Muay Thai or any martial arts like Kung Fu, Wing Chun, where there's a lot of elbow action, this thing is perfect, because not only can you punch it, but you can dip that elbow in. Right, also in this I've actually got some footage of myself using mine at home. I'll probably add some of that into the end of this video so you can get to see how I hit mine when I'm training at home. Obviously I've done a lot of karate on mine, elbows and polecat style fighting, not just traditional boxing. Now you've seen the bag, obviously in speedball mode, with the bottom spring locked and the top one open. You've seen it in flex mode, I've just demonstrated then. Now we're going to go into what's called hyperflex mode, which is both springs unlocked. So if I just unlock this top one here, that's going to make the top one and the bottom one still going to flex together. Now this is where Sensei Brown struggles. It doesn't stop him, he'll still get a good go, but obviously the coordination then is shifted all over the place because you've got different forces of different angles, and you know, it's making it really go all over the place, literally hyperflex. So, but I'm going to have a quick go for it first. Obviously see what's happening in hyperflex mode, it's all over the place, and that really gives you something to work around, to defend against, ducking and weaving.
And blocking. It's a work in progress for me using this, as is all martial arts, what we're doing here, and other fitness things. It's just a work in progress. This is going to be moving side to side and everywhere that you think. So it is a lot harder, like Sensei Polecat is said, is for me to hit it like that and know actually where it's going to be. So you've got to hit it, keep that guard up. So you can, like with me, I can miss it a lot because the head takes it off in a different angle, and then it can go around your hand. If you sort of glance off it, it'll go around your hand, and it's like attacking you if you wish. So yeah, just to recap what we've said, you've got the top bit at the top, you've got the bit at the bottom that makes it go all the way around. Yeah, you can lock them off depending on how flexible you want it. Obviously the speed bit, that's a lot fast, but if you tighten it up a little bit, you can get it faster, because obviously that's time consuming for it to come back. and you're waiting for it to come so you can hit it again. Tighten it up a little bit just by that flex thing, taking it up a little bit more so you've got your own speed timing. The bar at the bottom is flexing all the way, yeah, and then you've got your centre thing where you can raise it up and down. Obviously it's on a butt. If you want to get it in a headlock, you can get it in a headlock and keep doing that. You know, you can do what you want with this little tool. I'm going to be using it a lot more over the next coming months, weeks, years, and we'll probably be doing another video actually dancing around it and getting more into with martial arts and boxing and stuff like that. So we'll be a lot better on this in a couple of months and stuff like that. It's just I had a chance to really practice with this.
Right, so I mean, £50 from Argos, £65 Sports Direct. You get what you pay for. For 50 quid, it's not a bad piece of equipment. I've said it before, it's got its vulnerable points. If you really go in, you know, you're heavy fisted and you go and give it a good plastering, it's going to start rattling and then it's going to start breaking eventually. So you've got to use it as a training aid and not just something that you're absolutely going to destroy. I've said it before, you want to really punch hard, find somebody to punch that's not going to cost you 50 quid like him. I could just go and punch him, you know, and well, if it breaks him, it's not going to cost him 50 quid. Like if I punch this and break it, it's going to cost 50 quid. He's a human, it don't matter about human. Humans repair themselves, they've got tissues and stuff. This won't. If I break this, it's brock, you know, it then becomes brock. But no, like I could say, if you want to really go and punch someone, big heavyweight punch bag, punch your weight that all day, you can really hit this as hard as you can and it's not going to break. You won't break a punch bag, you might rip it or something, but you're not going to physically break a punch bag. Whereas this, if you hit it like you're trying to kill it, chances are you will kill it. But saying that, it's a very, very valuable, very useful training aid. It will withstand quite a lot, but just remember, if you want it to last, I'm not saying be fairly gentle, but don't hit it like you're trying to put it down, because if you really hit it like you're trying to put it down, you know, it's going to start playing up. But for £50, I mean, Everlast, they do another model that costs £300 and some pound a day, so that's going to be a lot more sturdy, that's going to take the pain. You get for what you pay for 50 quid, or in dollars, that's about 70, 80 bucks or something like that. It's not bad. It's not bad for what it is, but you've got to remember, you do get what you pay for when you're buying equipment like this, fitness equipment. So, you know, it's bottom end of the market really. It's okay for what it is, that's all I can say about it. It's okay. It's not amazing, but it's okay. It's almost like having your own sparring partner. Like I've said before, you can hit it, you can block it, it will come back to you so you can train your defence as well as your attack. Very useful training aid. Overall, I like it. What's your opinions?
It's good. Like I say, I've not worked on it too much. We've been doing other things. So I've not had much practice on it, but as you can see, I've used it. I'm getting alright on it. I'll probably get better. But like I say, you can use different techniques. It teaches about moving around things, not just staying in one place, because you won't just stay in a boxing thing, you won't just stay in a ring, you won't just stay there going like that and expecting somebody to keep coming forward you all the time. You'd move around it, and this teaches you as it's coming back to move around it and like uppercut or cross or whatever punch that you want to do, hook. So yeah, that's the Everlast Hyperflex bag.
Right, so we're going to show you the footage now. When I first got mine, the first thing I did was I had about half an hour on it, and then I thought, oh, it's good this, let me get a camera and do a bit of filming and see what I look like. Obviously I look like a bit of a prat like I always do on camera, but I'm not bothered about that. But I'm just going to show you a bit of footage now of me hitting mine. Basically on the first day when I got it, I set my camera up and thought, oh, I'll have a bit of fun filming this. So obviously I hit it a bit more ferocious, and then mine started to rattle a bit now, so now I know that I need to tone myself back when I'm mixing it, because I've obviously got mine rattling a bit. It feels like it's about 2 years old and it's only a couple of months old. So don't hit them like you're trying to kill them, like what you see me hitting it like in this clip. But you know, do have fun with it, that's what it's here for, have fun, train with it, train light, use it for versatility training rather than raw out power training. Remember what I said, if you really want to punch someone, either go and punch your mate in the face or go and punch a punch bag.
Everlast Hyperflex bag. Middle Dojo, crazy blind man, double poker. One side! Welcome to Dojo. Today we're going to be talking about the Everlast Hyperflex bag, stick, whatever you want to call it. This is it. Now it's got an adjustment, 3 settings. You've got one here, that's the ball flex. One down here, that makes the bottom flex, so it's going to be like bouncing backwards and forwards. Then you've got the centre one to adjust the height. Right, so it goes down as low as that. So it goes up to about there.
Just short of 6 foot.
Yeah, so I'm 5'5", so that's as a podcast, it's about 6 foot. We'll keep it at that height for now, till just right. We've got the flex. Slide that right down. Yeah, so it's going to bend all the way around. Now this at the bottom is full of water. Obviously, the more that you put in it, it's going to stay solid. So just hitting that, it's going to rotate around like that. Just that's just like the head, so it's going to move backwards and forwards. Now we haven't trained much on this Hyperflex bag, but we can still demonstrate and tell you a little bit about it.
Right, so the Hyperflex bag now, I've got one of these in my own dojo at home, as well as my little dojo, so I'm quite familiar with this. Sensei Brown's only had this for a couple of weeks. I've had mine for just over a couple of months. And they can take quite a bit of ammo, but one thing you've got to remember with these is, at the end of the day, it is just a little bit of metal and a little bit of rubber and a couple of springs.